What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm D Meadows. This is Road to Recovery. In this video, I want to talk about the medication Suboxone and just go over my experience with this medication and if it was a help to me and if I think it will be a help to anybody out there. Now, I'm sure that anybody coming to this channel already is aware of Suboxone, has heard of it before, but just in case there's somebody who hasn't and they'd like to know what it is, Suboxone is a medication that's used usually to treat people who are addicted to heroin or any kind of opiate. It's used to help withdrawal symptoms and cramp cravings. It's an opioid antagonist, so basically it's a combination of buprenorphine and naloxone, which is a blocker. And what that does is it binds to the opiate receptors, therefore not letting anything in. Like with Narcan, if somebody is going through an opioid overdose and their receptors are really full, the naloxone comes in, pushes that out, and then binds to that receptor, so therefore no more opiate can come in. And that's what it does. And now let's get into, have I taken it and if I think it works? And yeah, I did. I was aware of it long before I actually ever sought out the help to go to a doctor and get on Suboxone. And for me, I have to say, and remember, this is just my experience with it, and I have to say it was a lifesaver. And I wouldn't say miracle drug because if you say that, it almost makes people think that if they have a problem, like, oh, you just pop this pill, all better, heroin addiction gone, no more sickness. It doesn't really work that way. Like anything else, it also has to do with the person taking it and their mindset. If you're not ready to commit to your recovery, you're gonna find yourself basically just taking Suboxone as like a band-aid for your withdrawal, like an in-between time between you getting your fix and you don't want to be sick. You'll pop a sub and that's it. But if you're really ready to be committed to it, then it really can be a help to you. It definitely changed my life for the better. It was a complete 180 when I was first focused on my recovery. I had no desire to get high anymore or live that life. But the one thing that I was afraid of was going through withdrawal and being sick, because I don't know about anybody else out there. I know detox and withdrawal affects everybody. We all hate it. And unless you've experienced it, you really don't know what it's like. And I think anybody would say it's something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. But for me, it wasn't so much even the physical pain. And yeah, that hurt, like the being lethargic and your legs cramping and your stomach and all of it, right? But for me, it was more the mental and emotional state. If I was going through withdrawal or even knew it was coming, I would basically completely shut down, forget work. I wouldn't even want to get out of the bed. And I would just sink immediately into a depression, and then the cravings kick in, and I could not focus on anything else. So even though I was at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get clean, I don't want to do this anymore, I did have a big fear of how am I going to get through this? I can't just stop and just go through this sickness. And I love it. People used to say, they're like, oh, why don't you just pretend like you got the flu for a little bit? I'll take the flu any day of the week over dealing with that. Because too, it's not just about the withdrawal. If you've been using a substance and you've been addicted to it for so long, it's a lot of the mental stress too and the anguish that goes along with it. And I also tried methadone. And now people are going to ask, like, what's the difference? And let me discuss that, because I was on methadone for a while too. This was before I finally committed to my sobriety and then getting on Suboxone. The one thing I didn't like about methadone was it still made me feel like an addict. And the fact that you had to make sure you got up early every day. I had to be at the clinic by 5 o'clock. You're still paying out that cash to get your dose every day. And that's another thing about being an addict. It's not just the actual using of the drug, it's the lifestyle, right? So that constant routine and that regimen. And even though, okay, I wasn't sick anymore, but I still felt like it was something I had to fit into my schedule. And I always worried about, what if I couldn't get up in the morning? What if I didn't have a ride? And I missed, now I'm going to be sick for the whole day. And it would just go on in that downward spiral. And it just didn't work for me. I didn't like that whole feeling. If I wanted to break away from my addiction, I wanted not just to break away from the drug, but I wanted to break away from the habits too. Like that daily routine of just trying to wake up and find something so you're well, right? But Suboxone at the time wasn't even really a thought in my mind, because I'm sure some people out there too struggling with their addiction. It's cheaper to be on methadone, and to go to a doctor, you always figure that you always come up with some reason, right? Oh, I can't afford it, can't go to a doctor, I don't have insurance, or you might think about it one day and then get over it. So it didn't start until I just finally left, decided I wanted to get clean, came back up north, and I sought out a doctor. And I was really ready to be committed to this. And I saw that a doctor, started taking it, and it really worked for me. But like I said, it was also too because it broke that routine and that habit. Now I just have my medication, I just wake up in the morning, I pop my pill, and that's it, I'm done. I don't think about it for the rest of the day. But as I was saying, I was also in the mindset that I don't want to be involved in drugs anymore. I just didn't want to be sick in the process and have that hinder me. So if you are ready, and the only thing that you're worried about is like, how am I going to get through this because I don't want to be sick, I really suggest you seek out Suboxone. It definitely was a help for me. Don't just use it as a band-aid, because if anything, if you take it and you're just using it in the meantime until you get something else, it's going to have that blocker in it, and you can really make yourself sick if you don't take it right. It'll be even worse, like withdrawal times too. But I'm going to also leave a link in the description below of a Suboxone website and hotline number, so this way you can go on there and you can look up to see if there's any doctors or clinics in your area. Where's the closest one? And I'm sure maybe some of you can just go to your regular GP, and if your doctor has a license to prescribe Suboxone, then yeah, you could just tell him your issues and get it through him. If not, you are going to have to find a doctor. You need a special license to prescribe that medicine, but there's tons of them. I'm sure you can find one in your area, so I'll be sure to leave a link in the description below. But if anybody's really serious about doing it, or you don't want to take methadone, because yeah, I just felt like I was being handcuffed to another drug, like that cross addiction, right? That, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do dope or take pills now, but I'm still worrying about this every morning to get my dose. It just, I didn't like that whole feeling. I really needed to like distance myself from the whole routine and just everything about it. And Suboxone definitely worked for me. It definitely worked. So I suggest that anybody who's really struggling, just seek out the help. If you're ready to commit, you will thank me. Trust me, it will definitely work for you. Like I said, I'm not going to say miracle drug, because that's going to make it seem like the drug is just all powerful. You take it and you're done. But mixed in with a good mindset, it can be great for you. So Suboxone is definitely the way to go if you want to get clean and you're just afraid about going through withdrawals. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below. I'm not even going to ask to subscribe, but only do so if you feel like you want to be a part of this community and this information is helpful to you. Otherwise, then why even bother, right? So thank you guys for watching. D Meadows, Road to Recovery. See you guys on the next video.